Good morning. Good morning. Inspire with Fire, where we meet you at the intersection of life, faith, family, and business. I'm Krista Abbott, your host, and I am super excited to be with you on this beautiful Thursday morning. So, hello. Hey, drop a note in the comments. Let me know you're here. I see y'all are all fired up in the comments already. I'm still trying to get my lipstick on, and y'all are commenting. I was like, Lord, look at them. They excited today. All right. How do I get the top fan symbol? I'm not sure how that works. Lori, that's a good question. I'll email Mark Zuckerberg. I'll text him. I'll be like, yo, what's up, Zuck? I don't know. I'll check that out. How do you get the top fan symbol? I think it's somebody who's just like likes and comments on a lot of stuff, and you just kind of get it. That's something Facebook decides. I wish I could decide. I would give all y'all a top fan because y'all show up here every day. Y'all so faithful. I love my faithful friends. Good morning. I'll look into that. Yeah, hey, thanks, Jillian. Good idea. Hey, everybody click that share button. Share it on out there this morning. Let's get some loves going up here for the Inspire with Fire. Melody's in the house. What's up, girl? How you doing this morning? Oh, look, Miss Linda's back, y'all. Miss Linda's been having trouble with her internet. She's been messaging me. She's like, oh, I can't get my internet to work. I was like, Lord, send some angels to fix Miss Linda's internet. We miss her, and we want her back. Good morning, Miss Linda. So good to see your smiling face on my screen this morning. And there's Miss Jillian with her shamrocks and hearts. Good morning, my sister. Oh, look at you. You gave me a shout out. Inspire with Fire, Sister Krista. That's me. Hey, Ruthie. Good to see you in the house this morning with some little fire emojis going already. I love it. Hey, Susan. Susan from Iowa in the house. Hey, how's the weather in Iowa? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it snowing? I don't like the snow. I like palm trees and sunshine. Yes, I am excited for the day. I got my coffee. Oh, y'all, my cat woke me up at 4 o'clock this morning. He's got this thing. He does not like for doors to be closed in the house. And I'm like, dude, you got to get over it because we can't leave all the doors open all the time. And he's a smart enough cat and a big enough cat that he can open them. So he will, but he has to kind of jump at them a little bit and stand on his back paws. And then he'll take his front paws and he'll grab the knob and he'll like twist and jump back. So it'll sometimes take him, 3 or 4 times to get the door open. But there's 1 or 2 doors in the house he has a little more trouble with than the others. And at 4 o'clock this morning, he was trying to open my bedroom door. And I'm like, dude, stop. You're staying in here. You can't do that. And so it was a cat drama at 4 in the morning. Anybody ever have cat drama? So he wanted one thing, I wanted another, and I was trying to sleep, and he wasn't interested in sleeping because he's a cat, and he's been sleeping all day long. So now he wants to play at 4, and I'm like, dude, no. Anyway, let's get off of Buddy. Prince Ari, he rules the house. All right, it's cold in Iowa. I'm sorry. It's actually kind of cold in Florida. I don't know what the temperature is, but we got the heater on. I think it's like 68 or something. I don't know. It's like freezing outside. 65 degrees. All right, so get your coffee and let's get started for today with Inspire with Fire. Y'all ready for some inspiration? Ready for some inspiration? Hey, April's in the house. What's up, April? You just missed a buddy story. You have dog drama. Yeah, you do. April's dogs are, Hammy and Sammy. It took me a minute to remember their names. They want their treats. They have an addiction. Yeah, Buddy does too. No doors closed in the house. Has to be able. Hey, Joyanne, good to see you this morning in the house. Welcome, welcome. All right. It is episode 96 today, and we're going to talk about the power to create. And so for the past few days, we've been talking about success and wisdom for success, for being successful. So today I kind of want to take that conversation to the next level and let you guys on the inside of the backstory behind Kingdom 818, and then also to kind of take us to that next level in conversation about success and how to create it, because we have the power to create and what that success actually looks like and means. So when you think about a successful person, most people immediately think about what? Cha-ching! The Monty Hunty. They think about the Monty. I was looking to see, I should have had like some cash on the counter to throw up here and start making it rain for y'all. Let's see what I got in my drawer. We can make it rain. Let's make it rain. Y'all want to make it rain? Let's make it rain today. Make it rain, make it rain, make it rain. Anyway, make it rain with a little Monty honey. But when you think about being successful, you think about, a little cash, right? Think about having a little cash. So how can you get that cash, though? How do you get it? What do you do with it when you get it? And why is it some people seem to have a lot more of it than other people do? Well, there's some biblical principles behind that. And so that's what I want to talk about today. So let's head on over to the inspiration. Now, don't worry, this ain't going to be no funny money kind of talk. I'm not a prosperity preacher type person where, this isn't televangelism. All right, that's not what we're doing today. But I am going to talk about money from a biblical perspective, and because it's one of the things that God talks about the most in the Bible. Did y'all know that? Money's mentioned a lot of times. I don't know the exact statistic, but I'll get it for you and we'll share it tomorrow. But let's look at, countdown to the 100. Wahoo! Jillian's got a great idea. Let's all invite for the 100th anniversary. Super cool to have 100 and the impact for God. Oh, yes, thank you. 48 degrees in Bluntstown. Oh, girl, I'm glad I live in Tallahassee. It's a little bit warmer here. But, almost to 100. We're going to have a party on the 100th April. That'll be next Wednesday, so don't miss it. I don't know what we're going to do yet, but we'll figure something out. One suggestion yesterday was to make construction hats or make pilgrim hats out of construction paper since it's the day before Thanksgiving. Oh, I don't think we're really going to do that, but it's kind of funny to think about. Could y'all imagine us all sitting on a Zoom call with pilgrim hats with made out of construction paper? But yeah, I like Jillian's idea. Everybody invite somebody. Bring a friend. Y'all ever go to church and have that bring a friend Sunday where everybody bring two? Bring two to sit in the pew. Oh gosh, that's hilarious. All right, so we've got some stuff to talk about today. Here we go. Let's get into our inspiration. All right. So Deuteronomy 8:18. This is the power verse. This is the inspiration, no pun intended, but this is the inspiration for kingdom818.com, which is my merch site, my physical products that I create. So it says this: remember the Lord your God. He is the one who gives you the power to be successful in order to fulfill the covenant he confirmed to your ancestors with an oath. Okay, I want to look at this in another version because this is the New Living Translation. Okay, it's my second favorite. The Passion first. The Passion don't have Deuteronomy written yet. We got to wait for that one. So New Living is this my second favorite, and then my third is going to be the New American Standard, which was the Bible of the Bible college days. Back in the 90s. That's the one that seminaries were teaching out of back in the 90s. So, because it was at that time the most accurate translation, according to my theological professors. And I guess they knew what they were talking about. I don't know. But anyway, the New American Standard says it this way: but you are to remember the Lord your God, for it is He who is giving you power to make wealth, in order to confirm His covenant, which He swore to your fathers, as it is this day. For it is God who has given us the power to create wealth. So that's our topic for today, the power to create. So if we're looking at the power to create, then we have to ask ourselves, what does that really mean? So the first thing I see here is it says God is giving you the power to create wealth. God is giving you the power to be successful. So that means you have to do something to make that happen. So He gives us power to create the wealth, but it doesn't say He gives us the wealth. There's a lot of people running around with the lottery mentality, and they're like, oh, if I could just, get this money, or they're expecting somebody to give it to them or to win it, and that does happen for some people. But do you know the statistics on how many lottery winners who end up broke after a certain number of years? Why do you think that is? Because they had no skin in the game. You don't value what you don't have effort or energy that you've invested or put into it. And those people obviously have never learned how to manage their wealth or manage their money. So when a large sum like that comes to them, they don't really know what to do with it in order to keep some. So you have to understand that God has given you everything you need to create wealth. Now, wealth is defined differently for every single person on the planet. That doesn't mean that everybody is going to be a gazillionaire. But, and not everybody's going to have the same level of wealth, despite what socialism wants to do. Hello, somebody. Let's not talk about that today. I want to take a sip of coffee, so I shut up on that one. But I gotta quit laughing at myself before I take a sip of coffee. Here we go. All right. So we're not going to go there today, but we are going to go here. We're going to say God's given us the power to create, make, or produce that wealth. So He doesn't give it to us, but my friend and our sister Jillian, she said something last week that I really enjoyed, and I'm going to share it here today. But when y'all remember when I was up there visiting her, that was last week. I miss you, my sister. Remember when we had our hats on and we were sitting next to each other doing this broadcast? I'm wearing my hat today. I'm thinking about you. And my hair is a mess. But Jillian said this when we were talking in conversation. She says, God provides for the birds and all the little critters, but He doesn't put the food in the nest for them. They have to go out and get it. I love that, because it goes right along with what we're talking about today, and God giving you the power to create wealth. In other words, you have to work for it. You have to do something to obtain it. It doesn't just fall in your lap. Now, like I said, occasionally that happens, but when that does happen, it's not lasting. It's not lasting. So God's equipped each person with a special set of skills and a unique way of them being able to express them or utilize them so that they can create and bring in that level of revenue, wealth, success, prosperity, whatever term you want to use, that they need for what He's called them to do. So the first thing you have to think about when you're thinking about creating success or creating wealth is that you have to be willing to put in the work for it. You have to be willing to take your gifts, to take your talents and your abilities, and do something with them. So Kingdom 818, for example, I constantly get little t-shirt ideas, like little slogans or sayings drop in my head, and I'm like, throw them on a t-shirt. And it's easy to do that these days with print on demand services. Put up a website. I sure know how to do that. It's what I do for a living. I build things on the internet. So I can surely make a website, put some product on it, and this is a creative outlet for me. I'm using the creativity and the skills that God has given me to sell things on the internet and to help other people sell things on the internet. I'm a marketer. That's what I do. I have clients and I help them sell stuff on the internet. And so the gifts and talents and abilities that God has given me, I'm putting to use. And yes, they're creative in nature, but it's what I'm doing with that creativity that is enabling income or finances to come into my life to give me what I need to do what God's called me to do. Okay? So, what is that wealth, and what is prosperity or success, like the New Living says it? So it is, let me switch over to the other screen here. So wealth is a lot like prosperity, but prosperity is different for every person. Now, I want to kind of give a disclaimer here and say that prosperity has gotten a bad rap because a lot of people have misused it, and they've misused the scriptures for their own selfish gain. Greedy people got a hold of some biblical truths and twisted it and started using it to create excessive wealth and luxurious lifestyles on the back of the gospel. Now, I'm going to say it like that. I do believe in prosperity, but I do not advocate for what has become known as the prosperity gospel. Okay, so the prosperity gospel, or y'all know what I'm talking about there, right? The money preachers. I do believe that God wants us to prosper. I do believe that God wants us to have wealth at the level that we need it to accomplish what He's called us to do. But I do not believe in using the gospel and using the Bible to manipulate people out of their money so that that person can live an extravagant lifestyle while everybody else is broke as a joke. Okay, so let me clarify that with what I'm saying, because anytime a spiritual person starts talking about money, people get nervous. So I want to let y'all know where I'm coming from with this right now, that prosperity in my heart and in my mind and based on my understanding of the Bible is that we have enough to do what God has called us to do when He calls us to do it, and enough left over to bless somebody else. Okay, so the question about what does prosperity look like for you may be different than the question of what prosperity looks like for me. You may need $5 million to do what God's called you to do. I may only need $2 million to call me what God's called me to do. Somebody else may only need $100,000 to do what God's called them to do. So what has God called you to do? What impact has He called you to make in your city, in your state, in your country, in your world? And how are you utilizing the skills and abilities that He has given you to create that wealth so that you can do what He's called you to do? Because He's equipped you, but what kind of stewardship do we as individuals have? Because we have to take responsibility for that calling. When we came to this earth, we came with a purpose. God gave us a purpose, a destiny, and a plan, something that unique to us that only we could accomplish in this planet. But He also equipped us with everything we needed in order to be able to accomplish that. And it didn't always come with an instruction manual, aside from the primary instruction manual we have, which is God's word, right? So it becomes like a connect the dots type thing as you walk through the life, and you take one step, you start kind of figure it out as you go and seek God and pray about it, right? So what has God put in your heart that's already in your heart to do? And then what do you need to accomplish that? Like, how much money is it going to take to do it? Like, you can't sit down and build a house if you don't know what materials you need to build that house. You can't get those materials until you know how much they cost. You don't know how much they cost until you sit down and do the math and make the plan. So you see, you gotta have a lot of planning that goes into figuring out what it is that you need to accomplish what God has called you to do. And then once you know that, then you can get busy creating that wealth and knowing at what point that success comes in. Okay, so prosperity then is having enough to do what God calls you to do when He calls you to do it, and then having a little extra left over so that you can bless and help somebody else, because you always want to be able to give back to others around you too. So having that freedom financially to go when God says go, and to do when God says do, and not be bound down or held down by excessive debt, and you have to do this so that you can do that, and oh, you got to pay the bills, and so not being held down or held back by that. So yes, we all have bills. Yes, there is healthy debt to have so that you can do things. Nothing like using OPM, right? Other people's money. But doing it in a way with wisdom so that it doesn't create hardship or burden on yourself. But remember the parable of the talents, because you want to be able to invest too, because that'll help your money grow. But you got to do that with wisdom too, and know what you're doing. Otherwise, you're gonna squander it away and lose it out of ignorance. So, but making wise investments that yield a proper return. Think about the parable of the talents and the men who took what they were each given a certain measure, 110, 15, 11. Why? See, that right there backs up what I was just saying. Each person, but based on their calling, has a different need of prosperity. They have a different level of what they need in order to accomplish what they're given to do. The parable of the talents demonstrates that, where one man's given 10 talents, one man's given 5 talents, one man's given 1 talent. And so that is representative there of we each have a different level of need. But then what do you do with it? The man that had 10 took it and invested it and multiplied it. The man that had 5 took it and put it to work and he multiplied it. The man that had 1 was like, oh no, I only have 1. I only have $20. I only have 20. I better hold on to it. I'm gonna hide it here in case the apocalypse comes and I need it. I might need it one day. I'm not gonna do anything with it. Now, y'all are all on here. I think all of y'all that are here today, at least as best I can tell, were all on here the other day when my sister Jillian shared with us that she came from Ireland with what? One of these. $20. Somebody say $20. It might have looked different because she was from Ireland, so it might have been an Irish 20. I don't know. But it was a $20 either way. She had $20. Now, what if she had come over here with her $20 and she just hid it? And she was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I need to save this $20. I might need it one day for some lipstick. What if she hadn't have taken her $20 and went into that restaurant or wherever she was, where she met the lady in the bathroom that told her about a business opportunity that led to this 20 becoming a lot more than that. A lot more than that. So, what are you doing with what you've been given? Have you been given 120? Have you been given 220s? Have you been given 420s? What have you been given? And what are you going to do with what you've been given? So these are your talents, not necessarily money, but the ability to take what you have and and put it somewhere. Put it to work for you. How do you put your talents to work? How do you put your money to work? Well, you find some wise investments and let your money work for you, right? Or how do you put your, if these 20s represent talent, how do you put your talent to work? Well, what do you know how to do? What's in your hand to do? What do you know how to do? That's what you go and do. That's how you create wealth. Take what you know, use it to invest your skills, invest your talents, and do what it is that's in your hand to do. So, yeah, don't hide it. Say, hide it under a bushel. No! Remember that Sunday school song, hide it under a bushel? No! I'm going to let it shine. All right, now why did God do this? Let's look back over here. It says, what, in order to confirm his covenant, which he swore to your fathers. So this is a covenant. When God says he's going to give us, he's going to allow us to succeed or allow us the ability to create wealth, he's given us that power. So he's given us what we need to do that so that he could fulfill a covenant. So a covenant is a promise, right? A serious promise, and God doesn't break his promises. He keeps his promises. Somebody say, God keeps his promises. So God's going to keep his promise because he desires to bless you. Because number one, he made a covenant that he would bless you, right? With your ancestors and the biblical fathers of the time. So he has a desire to bless us and to prosper us. And there's prosperity, like we talked about, is different for each person. So God calls us to do different levels of things. We need different levels of money and finance and success to be able to do that. Success is more than, it is wealth, it is finances, but it's also influence. It's also position. So are you called to influence a city in a particular way? Then maybe God has positioned you in that city to be a person and a voice of influence. That is success. That is wealth. Wealth is more than just cash. Okay? Wealth is also knowledge. Wealth is also influence. Wealth is also health. I mean, think about the assets that you have in your life beyond just the dollar. Okay? This is one measure of wealth, but it's not the only measure of wealth. So how are you wealthy? You may be wealthy in love. You got all the love you can handle and plenty more to give. I'm wealthy in love. I'll tell you right now, I am a gazillionaire when it comes to love. Because I got so much love to give. And I receive so much love from other people. Because why? What you sow, you will reap. So you want some love in your life? You better give you some love. You want some this in your life? You better give some. What do you want more of in your life? That's what you sow. That's what you give to others, or give to God, or give into good soil. And we'll talk more about that on another day, because that's a whole nother message. But I'm kind of laying some groundwork here today to get us thinking about the power to create and the power to be successful. So what are you called to do? Are you called to serve your family? Are you called to serve your local community? Are you called to serve a state or a nation? Are you called to a particular people group? Called to the homeless in one city? Called to minister to the poor in some third world country somewhere? Thank God that wasn't my calling, but bless the people who do have that calling. And I'll give of my resources to them to help them do that, because I don't have any desire in my heart to go sleep in the jungles of Africa, but other people do. Like, they're passionate about that, and God love them. I will help them. But because I'm thankful to, that my idea of sleeping in the jungle is, the Marriott in with some banana plants outside. Ha 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 ha. So prosperity is going to vary from person to person, but identifying what is that for you and what does that look like for you. So I just kind of wanted to lay that groundwork for you guys today. Oh, so yeah, I am totally a gazillionaire. Y'all like Forrest Gump? Oh, I quote Forrest Gump all the time. Oh no, that's a travesty. Lots of internet issues. Well, y'all need to get y'all's internet fixed up there. Linda was having internet issues too. And Jillian was having connection issues yesterday. What's going on? Could see comments and not hear or see Krista. Oh my gosh, you couldn't see or hear me. That is a terrible way to start the morning. To not be able to see me? Bless your heart. We're going to pray. All right. Let's see. What do you call each person? Different person to person. Yes, I know, right? My treehouse room. I love it. Internet warfare. We break it in Jesus' name. We break that warfare. Be a voice of influence, knowledge, wealthy in love, love to give. Put your talents to work. Do what you know how to do. Changed my mama's life. Yes, you did, my sister, and you did it upright. Talk about somebody putting their gifts and talents to work. Even developing new skills and talents so that she can make it happen. God will give you double for your trouble. Good measure. Pressed down. Shaken together. Running over. She chemo. You gonna get me going. Oh, this is what you were responding to. Loving that testimony. Parable of the talents. Each person given a different measure. Amen. Whoop, there's me some fire and some loves. I love the fire. Oh, well, thank you, my sister. Thank you, my sister. Oh, I see rainbows and fires and stars. What's all this about? Make some, spend some, save some, and give some. There you go. And I got that in my notes to talk about in another episode. I sure do. I sure do. I love that. Make some, spend some, save some, and give some. There we go. God feeds the birds, but he doesn't throw it in the nest. I'm going to leave that on the screen as we get ready to go and do what? What's next? We're going to anchor it. I need an anchor. Y'all know this office is kind of decorated in nautical stuff. I got a helm, and I got a captain's quarters sign, and I got a lighthouse or two. Y'all, I used to have a lot of lighthouses because I made the mistake of telling a bunch of people I collected them back years ago. And for like 3 years, it's all I ever got for Christmas, birthday, whatever. If anybody bought me anything, they bought me a lighthouse. And I'm like, I have enough! Stop! Don't buy me no lighthouses. I'm over it. Oh gosh, I love you guys. Alright. Let's see what we have here. Alright. April is super excited. I think she was talking about the 100th episode there. Yeah, we're going to do, I don't know what we're going to do yet. We're going to figure it out though. Jesus, tell us what to do for 100. Alright. So let's anchor it. Let's anchor it. That's me trying to whistle. Here we go. Decree. Decree. I decree. God has created me with the power to create wealth and be successful. I have in me everything I need to succeed. As I put to work my gifts, skills, and talents, I will see God's hand of blessing cover me and help me prosper. One more time. I decree, God has created me with the power to create wealth and be successful. I have in me everything I need to succeed. As I put to work my gifts, skills, and talents, I will see God's hand of blessing cover me and help me prosper. There we go. We've anchored it. That's our decree. Oh, that's so sweet. I became a lighthouse. I'm going to start blowing a horn. Rawr, rawr, rawr. I'm going to start blowing a horn when I talk. Actually, I am blowing my horn. Oh, goodness. Oh, I'm trying to remember, there was this song when I was a kid and that's what, even as a kid, I like lighthouses. Like, I'm talking a little kid, like 6 or 7 years old. And I remember we went to this old country church. I'm talking about little white church in the wildwood. And it was a white church too. It was a white concrete block. And it was in the woods. On top of a big hill. I mean, classic country church. And they used to sing this song called Lighthouse, and it was my favorite song, and I used to even request it, and even as a little kid, and I don't remember the lyrics or the words. I'll YouTube it up and see if I can find it. I wonder if it's out there still. It might have just been an old country song that somebody in that church wrote. I don't know. Oh, guide the ships to shore. There's lighthouses in Ireland? Really? I love lighthouses. I do still love them. I just don't want any more to put in my house. But I do love them. I love them. We got a few here in Florida that I like to go visit. There's a really nice one in St. Augustine. Anyway, all right, I'm off topic. I'm chasing a squirrel. Here. Hey, Lori, this is just for you. I bet you're already texting about me. She's chasing squirrels again. Oh, that's funny. Hey, Melody, I hope you could hear something. I'm sorry you were having internet issues. But anyway, here we go. Guiding the ships to shore. Let's guide something to shore so we can wrap up this puppy. All right, we did our decree. We've talked. We've played in the comments. We've chased a squirrel or two. I think we've covered it for today. So we can call it a day. Come back tomorrow for what? For Friday! And we'll keep the party rolling because we are steady chugging along and moving to 100. We got to do this every day because won't it be great to reach 100 episodes the day before Thanksgiving? That's going to be so fun. I'm super excited. So I think Melody might be putting the Lighthouse song lyrics on the screen. That sounds about right. Yeah. There's a lighthouse on a hillside that overlooks life's sea. That's how it starts. And if it wasn't for the lighthouse, tell me where would this ship be? It's coming back to me. Oh, man. Oh, and it was so low. It was one of those low songs that a baritone man sang. All right, I'm going to find it on YouTube because I'm going to be listening to it all day now. All right, I'm closing this party out. Hey, KristaAbbott.com and WhereKingdom818.com, which we talked and learned all about today. Don't forget to like, comment, follow, subscribe, and share. Invite a friend. Get the word out about Inspire with Fire. And hey, if you want to make a donation, you know how to do that at KristaAbbott.com/give. Or you can give by the Cash App, $ Dr. Krista. Or if you prefer snail mail, there you go. It's in Tallahassee, Florida. And, yeah, that covers that. So we will see you guys tomorrow for Friday. And we'll pick it all up and talk about something. I don't know. We'll talk about something, but it's going to be fun. Whatever it is, I can guarantee that. So put your smiles on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Loves.